Hello, Adele Locke. Welcome back.
Hi, thank you for having me back again.
You are very welcome. You are the lighting lady, as you referred to yourself in our last post, but you're more than that. You are the founder, director, senior designer of Mint Lighting Design.
hmm
Today, we're talking about innovation,
Yeah,
and you're going to start with a shared slide, and then I'm going to show a few things.
yeah, absolutely. It's been phenomenal. The last 10 years in lighting, it has changed so very dramatically, and we're really getting to the cool stuff now because it's becoming affordable and effective, and it's actually doing what it's supposed to do. So this little slide that we found online is a fantastic example of how different a room feels at different color temperatures. One of the things we talk about is like the temperature of light, if it's cool or it's warm.
Yeah.
So this is actually something you can do with a light. So you could actually have lights installed in the space, and it's called tunable white. So you fit off a single light fitting in all of those locations.
Tunable white, is it?
Yeah, tunable white, tunable white. So the lights go in and you get a little control pad on the wall or your phone or iPad or, however you're controlling it. And you can actually choose if it's going to be really toasty warm, if it's going to be a little bit warm, if it's going to be daylight blue, depending on your mood, the time of day, all sorts of amazing things. It's
I
very,
keep
very cool tech.
warm the whole time.
Well, yeah, interestingly, with a lot of people working from home now, actually shifting into the blue in the workday, really good for your brain and your functionality. So,
Oh, I didn't know.
so yeah, it's not about just nighttime. Like if you're in an apartment and you have to have the lights on during the day, or a house that's dark and you need the lights on in the day, if you go into those bluer, more neutral colours, it
Yeah,
actually sparks your brain.
there you go. Sparks. Well, we need a bit of that at home, don't we? Some
We
more. All right. So here we've got a few pieces for us to talk about. Um, Talk to me about this, Adele.
Yeah, so this is a really good tie-in actually to the tunable white. And this is just lighting controls. And now lighting controls have been around for ages. Yeah, there's plenty of houses around with C-bus systems and all sorts of great things like that. But the controls now are actually getting to the point where they're intuitive and they're cheap to install, and you don't have to run kilometers of cables. They can be little boxes in between light switches. Like, it's getting a lot easier. And so these sort of central hub control systems, which are fantastic.
When you say cheap, people want to know, what would something like that cost?
Well, so this is a wired system. So this one would be, at the upper end. So you'd be maybe looking at $50,000 in a decent sized house. A wired up C-bus system. We've heard of systems that have cost $250,000. So it depends on the size of your house, obviously, and how many things you're controlling. Systems like this control blinds as well as lights and everything else. So,
Right.
so they're pretty comprehensive. But if you just jump onto the next slide that sort of shows the little smart house, this is kind of where it's going, where you can have little gizmos in behind your electronics to control, thermostats and blinds and all the rest of it, but lights as well.
So it's
And
an
it is,
computer, isn't it?
yeah, it's basically turning the house into a big old computer, using, Wi-Fi or Bluetooth connections. Like, there's lots of different things coming out. But the ability to then choose your scene, imagine you've got your living room, it's full of lights, and you have, like, instead of trying to dim everything and get it all right, you just have three buttons to choose from, which is, family dinner, chilling, watching Netflix, and party mode, and your lights just turn on to whatever they're supposed to be. So you don't have to fuss around with it. And I think that's the real gem in having controls, is just taking the fuss out of it.
Yeah, I like the fact that you don't have to be fussing around with it. It's intuitive. Talk to me about this, Adele.
Yeah, so this I've included because, integrating light into the architecture is not really something we've been able to do effectively until the last few years. So until we got really good quality LED lights that are really, really tiny, we really couldn't do things like this in such a sleek and affordable way. So the ability to integrate light into the architecture and make the architecture the hero, rather than just focusing on light fittings, because let's be honest, most light fittings, not so exciting to look at, but architecture, mind-blowing. So the light is supposed to work with it, not against it.
You're the supporting actress.
Yeah, well, we make it look good, right? So without light, when the sun goes down, your architecture is a little bit bland. So, you know, you've got to get the amazing light in there. And then, because sometimes you can actually make it feel like you're in almost a different house at night, you know, you kind of approach it differently and change your environment. It's a lot of fun.
Here we have it.
Yeah, it's just another example of integrated light, and you know, look how elegant that is, and just quiet.
Is the light coming from the railing?
Mm-hmm.
Ah, nice one.
Yeah, super slim railing, light inside, so there's nothing on the walls, nothing in the treads, no muss, no fuss, right? But you can see perfectly. You've got amazing light to see, but it's also just really elegant. And I think this integration of light, this is a really, really exciting innovation that we're able to play with now. Lets us do a lot of fun things.
And we've come to the end.
That's it. That's 3 innovations: tunable white light, controls that are wireless, and light that integrates into your architecture.
Oh, some really good takeaways today, Adele. I'm learning heaps. Thank you so much for sharing your pearls of wisdom.
Oh, thank you for letting me. I love to talk about light.
Great. I love it. You've made it so interesting. I look forward to speaking again soon.
Me too. Okay, bye now.
Bye now.